Hey babe, somebody on Twitter was like, I want to know how to get out of a situation where I'm boxed in and somebody's on top of me and I can make it out of that and win. I got a video for you. It just so happens the same day somebody said that on Twitter, I played a game where I got boxed in and somebody was on top of me and I had to find my way out of it and I ended up getting the kill. And this is actually a perfect example of how that happens. Let me go ahead and play this all the way through in normal time. So you guys can see what's going on exactly. Hit a guy with a snipe, barely missed his head, hit his shoulder. Immediately build a jump pad, take it all the way over to him. Don't quite make it near the top of the ramp or anything like that. I'll explain to you why later. It's both a good thing and a bad thing. I build up. He ends up running up and gets on top of me. I'm in a box. I'm like, oh God. Edit myself out. Build up again. Realize that he's now above me. And then I shoot him and knock him down. Take it easy, Dr. Vulpix. That, very fast, is what happened and how you can get out of a situation where you're boxed in and gotta get out. I'll go ahead and play it back and slow it way down for you guys and explain to you step by step exactly why all that worked. Oh God, let me fix my camera angle. Fixed it. All right. So I see this guy just standing there like a nincompoop, just staring down a sniper scope at what I didn't realize at the time was the last player in the game. I get a shot. I hit him in the shoulder, barely miss the head. I'm on like a low ground, it's a little awkward angle, and it's cross mountain, and I'm not used to sniping still. Getting better though. I tried switching to an AR really quickly to try like finish off the shot with like a headshot cross map, which would have killed him at this HP. But he hit really fast, and I was like, oh God, it's fine. So I tried building a jump pad. I didn't realize it until I was near the top. I'm going to pause it to explain this really quickly. What I should have done was the trick where as you're building up the ramps, you also switch through your walls to build like cover for your ramps as you go up. I didn't do that. It was sloppy. I get it. You should do that if you're in my situation. And if I did do that and it was constantly like listening to hear if anybody was shooting at me, not hearing anybody shoot at me, building up the walls as well as cover, I would be able to build up like 2 more high-ish to then drop the jump pad and then probably land on the top of this ramp, which would be optimal to then like push on him. Because by the time I got near the top, I was like, oh yeah, I didn't do that. That's sloppy. I wouldn't have placed the jump pad earlier than I wanted to, because if I kept going up higher, by the time like this guy or whoever else was in the game started shooting at me, I wouldn't have been able to get the jump pad on down in time, and I would have definitely fallen to my death because I'm over the gap here at this point. So I had to cut it early and place a jump pad immediately because I realized I forgot to place the protective barriers for my ramps on the way up. In any case, this guy has 2 shield pots, so he pops both of them by the time I get over there. He would have popped one regardless. I would have been able to start shooting at him in time as the second shield pot goes off if I did this correctly, but I didn't. That's okay. So what I do instead is I actually try swinging for the bottom of the ramp. Just barely miss it. I don't know if it's even possible. Maybe my trajectory is a little bit off, but barely miss it. So then I like try getting on this ramp and I'm not gonna hit that either. And then I'm like on the ground. I'm like, ah, geez. So the time it takes for me to recover from this mistake to get to the top, I would have been at the top already. And I would have been shooting at him as he just finished his pot and he would have been prepared. Luckily, he started looking for me. He lost sight of me right as I like started hugging the wall. He lost sight of me and lost track of if I'm going behind him at this point or going on this side. So he actually chooses wrong. He starts checking the wrong side. And by the time he realizes where I was, I've already built cover for myself with building the ramp on top. This is also a tutorial for like how to aggressively push somebody across the mountain if you haven't realized. You build that ramp on top, which is huge, because with this ramp, he can't shoot at me. You'll notice I'm like constantly building ramps to cover my head as I'm pushing up. A really good player could have possibly gotten a shot in at the exact moment, but it's like milliseconds of open windows of opportunity to get the shots in before the ramps form. It's extremely difficult and pretty much nobody will make this happen, like get the shots off. If I want to be crazy optimal, because this is technically a little sloppy, if I want to be crazy optimal, I would have built a roof here with a floor and then built a ramp outwards going off to the east this way and built up like 1 or 2 high and then turn around on him. If I was going to be crazy optimal, I would have done that. I didn't know timing perfectly. I honestly thought he was still healing at this point and would start pushing me by about this time. I didn't know he was ready as soon as he was. So if he was a top tier player, he actually probably would have been able to kill me. So lessons learned from my mistakes and my successes. I'm doing most things right. What I do is going to be working against pretty much every player, but like really top tier players can still punish me, and nobody's perfect. We're all learning lessons every single day. Anyway, moving on. He realizes that I'm building cover for myself, so he thinks I'm going to run up on top of the ramp, which is actually something I started doing as well, because it's actually a really good strategy. You actually use their ramp that you're building as cover for themselves as a way of continuing to maintain high ground over them. I try walling him off really quick because I realize I hear, because audio is actually a big deal. You don't really have it on the replay. I hear him pushing me. I tried walling him off. He barely snuck in. And I was like, ah, shucks, dude. So I go in and finish off the box so he doesn't get off on the side and get a shot on me. I build a floor for myself so it's a perfect box. So at this point, I can choose to go out the south side, the west side, or the east side. Any side I want to go on, I can choose. Regardless of which side I go on, this is going to require editing. Now I'll go ahead and make a note right here for anybody watching on console or a mobile player. I don't know the first thing about mobile strategies and what to do in mobile because I've never played mobile, so I don't know limitations. I cannot advise you for if you're a mobile player for like when it comes to quick editing outbuilding strategies. I know on console, I assume mobile is like even less building intensive and less editing speed than console is. On console, it's a little bit slow to activate editing a little bit, and building isn't super streamlined like on PC it is. So just keep in mind that if you're on console, if these speeds don't really work for you, maybe it doesn't work for you. But as a PC player, these are all like 100% tips for you guys on PC. And I'll generally try to keep tips pretty universal for you guys for like how to like use mountains to push people and how to utilize high ground, stuff like that, like my other videos have. And generally a lot of these tips can apply universally as well. But this next tip regarding editing, you might not be able to pull off on console or mobile very well. For the way of getting out of a box area though, that I figured out right there, edited really quickly. And all this is playing really slow motion. You saw the start of the video, and I'll play it regular speed later on as well so you can see it again. It's pretty quick. I don't want this guy to set up and be really ready for me. I want to be a little bit quick about my motions. Typically, the faster you are, as long as you aren't screwing up, the faster you are, the better, because that stops the other people from being able to mentally prepare and mentally set up for you. And the more prepared the enemy is, the faster their reaction time is, and the more likely they're going to be in position to punish you. Right here, I actually built the wall faster. If you remember earlier, I had like a moment, like a millisecond moment that he could have shot me before I built this ramp. I actually built this ramp because I thought about it before. I built this ramp before I started exposing myself. And actually, what I wanted to do right here is this guy actually did it like pretty well. What a lot of people do is they'll just continue sitting here. They'll just continue sitting on top of you and just wait for you to like make a mistake. So typically I build two out, because if they're one above you, you build two out and you can get on top of them. If they're two above you, you can build three out and get on top of you. That's basically the formula. You have to build one extra ramp outwards than the amount of stories they are above you, essentially. But the more you build outwards, the riskier it gets, and I'll kind of explain that to you in a little bit. For the meantime, though, I tried building here, and this is a little bit sloppiness for me as well. Let me go ahead and get back to where this was. It's a little bit of sloppiness. I have a bad habit of rotating to my right. I always rotate to my right when I build. Right here, I should have rotated to my left. I knew I walled him off. So he's either directly above me or to my left over here, my back left. So no matter what, building to my right isn't going to save me from this guy specifically. But he can get a quick angle on me as I'm coming out, as you can see here. If he positioned higher on this ramp, he'd be able to shoot me. There's clearly an angle here. And if he was good enough, he'd be able to get like sink into pump and maybe 200 me. If he was good enough. Luckily he wasn't, and this is definitely like one of those times where as I'm making these videos for you guys, I'm realizing how to better myself as well. I need to stop my habit of always turning to my right to build productively and build to my left productively. I still motion to my right which is a good habit for me to do, is as I was on the left of the ramp here, because I had to be because of how this ramp was forcing me to the left side of the box, I was positioning closer to the right side of the ramp. But still, as I positioned close to the right side of the ramp, I should have turned left. This guy didn't realize his window of opportunity on me and failed to execute and didn't get a good shot on me. So here, I'm regaining high ground on him. Typically, people will just kind of sit here and I'll just like shoot down at them or whatever, do editing shenanigans. But what this guy decides to do is he tries to regain high ground on me, which is smart. So I get a shot on him. It's a pretty good shot. He's continuing to build out. And I actually make a decision right here that's based on the information I received based on his tendency playstyle. His tendency is to sit on high ground for a little bit on a ramp and try to get a shot off. Right here, he went up and built one ramp, didn't continue like speed building to gain like high ground, build one bias. He just kind of sat on one ramp, try to get an angle on me. I realized that's what he did based on what he built previously and based on where he was already positioned by the time I saw him again. When he builds out again this way, I got a pretty good shot on him. At this point, I can choose to either one, shoot him in the head and get the kill, or I can shoot out his ground because his tendency is to only build one ramp and just have a shootout. So I went ahead and got a shot on him first because clearly you want to get a shot on him because you don't really know if they're going to maintain the tendency. The second shot misses. That's mostly my fault. If I didn't miss my shot, I would have been able to kill him right there. But what I realized is I shot my second shot, it hit fully on the ramp with the exception of one pellet. It did like 7 damage to his body. But almost all of it hit the ramp. This is a fresh created ramp. It's not full HP. It's really weak. So what I decided to do, because I think it's funny, is I shot his ramp again. And he was like, oh geez, this sucks. He already used his jump, so he can't jump onto my platform. A really top player would be able to quickly realize and build a floor. He decides his choice was to try shotgun me because like, he didn't realize fast enough that I destroyed his floor. I maintained an angle to try to shoot at him again, just in case he builds a floor. So I'm thinking, sick dude, let's get a quick, easy angle on this guy so I can really see him fall to his death. But what I did was I jumped onto the ramp as like, just like a safeguard. Just in case he barely lived, I still want to maintain high ground, and then I'd be able to peek over the ramp and shoot at him when he landed on the floor. But then right here, I realized he died, so I was like, oh, that's sick. I build the floor anyway, just in case like somebody's ready to shoot at me from the side or something. As I explained before, it's always good to keep moving and jumping on the high ground, even if you just finish off the other player or the person you're engaging with, you know they're not going to be able to shoot you. It's still good if you're up on the top of these build fights to keep jumping around, build cover for yourself, because you never know if somebody's about to snipe you or something. Something else to cover really quickly, and then we're going to go on the recap while we play this in full motion, full speed or whatever. You'll see me on my positioning on the ramp. I'm positioning far away from him. I have attack shotgun, so as close the better for damage output, but it's not always about optimally getting out as much damage as possible. You'll see me jump upwards to try to get maintain high ground continuously. I position near the edge because I want an angle on him because I saw he started jumping and was building, so he's not gonna be able to shoot it back at me. So I position closer for more damage. And then at this point, I realized by the time it takes for me to shoot again, he's gonna be able to finish his build and be able to shoot back at me. So I jump away just in case I need to build walls or something, because if I'm too close to edges, you build walls like farther away. The game doesn't know how to register that you're trying to build a wall like right next to you. So I need to jump away in case I need to build walls. At this point, I'm like, you know what? I'm 200 HP. He has a heavy shotgun. It's impossible for him to kill me in one pump because he has a pump shotgun. So in one shot, it's impossible for him to kill me. And I don't want to build defensively because this is my one moment to get one last shot off to destroy his ramp. So if I build defensively, I could lose the opportunity, and it gives him a chance to get back in the fight. So I maintain my shotgun out instead of building defensively, and then destroy the ramp. And then just in case he looked to build again, at that moment, his two options are one, shoot back at me just as a Hail Mary before he goes off to his death because he didn't realize he was as far as in the sky as he was. His second option is to realize what happened, not shoot at me, and build a floor. No matter what, I don't die here. And I can secure the kill on him as long as I don't choke my shot or whatever. Very important positioning on the ramps. It's actually a really big deal how you position on the ramps while you're doing this what looks like bunny hop jump fests. And definitely the essentials are hitting your shots and building faster, but still your positioning and reasons why you do each thing is very important. So we'll go ahead and play all of this out in normal speed for you, no pauses or anything. You can hopefully learn from my mistakes and successes as well as the mistakes and successes of the other player. Hopefully this is a learning experience for you. It has been for me. As I already explained, I've learned a lot from even doing this video for you guys and gals. I do stream live every single day on mixer.com/Chadlantis. I stream usually like 50+ hours a week. It's usually in evening streams, and I'll go over a lot of these little informations as I can, but this in-depth information, just because of time's sake, has to be reserved for YouTube. I'll also tweet out when I go live every day, as well as cover like a lot of updates, etc. on my Twitter, twitter.com/ChadlantisTV. And yeah, if you enjoyed this video, if you learned a lot, you want to learn more, I do these almost daily. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get these out daily or not, but I'm going to do my best. Be sure to subscribe and check out all my other videos, as I'll be pumping these out as much as I can for you guys. And I hope you have a nice day. Thanks for watching, babes.